Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Terrestrial Material, where we talk about the material us terrestrials are interested in. Happy Sunday, everybody. It's another Sunday. How about that? Oh, God, now the music cuts off all abruptly. I got to get, like, some way to just fade that music down. I got to get an interface or something, man. It annoys me every single time at the start of how the music ends, but it ends the way that it ends. We begin the way we begin. So yeah, happy Sunday, everybody. Hope everybody had a really good week this week. I had a lot of fun. There was some highlights throughout the week, and there was some pretty interesting news that went on, right? We had the Schumer rally that went on. We had David Morehouse. He kind of went after Grusch this week, and we'll talk a little bit about that as we continue on here. And then there were some more, I guess, like paperwork moments and some more kind of difficult to kind of decipher moments throughout the week, like drone swarms they're supposedly going on at Langley Air Force Base. Dean Johnson breaks out like the new UAP reporting guidelines, like the rules that are coming into place for the pilots and actually for all of the military, to be quite honest with you, which is interesting enough. But yeah, good to see you, Cosmic, Twilight, Nick. That's awesome. Good to see you. I hope you're having a good Sunday. Rotary, as usual, good to see you. So where do we begin this week, huh? I think we should probably begin with our Sora video. I like starting out with the Sora video of the week here. Let's get over to our big screen here. All right, perfect. And you know, I got an air cleaner going on in this room over here, and I thought it wouldn't bother me, but it kind of does, man. I might end up going and turning it off, but yeah. So the Sora videos continue. The saga continues of these, and they keep getting cooler every single week. Now, this one popped up on my feed, and the guy who posts these a lot, I do get them from Min Choi. I don't know who this guy is, dude, but he's on top of getting these out. If you notice the last couple of weeks, you see the same layout from him. Like, he's like, hey, here's 8 wild ones, elephant made of leaves. But am I crazy? Have we seen this one before? Is this an older one? I kind of feel like it is. We gotta get rid of the sound, obviously. But look at this thing, dude. Look at all the leaves. Holy. This is gonna be the new Jungle Book movie they're gonna make here. It's all gonna be AI, right? The new Jumanji. Dude, it's so cool. Oh, it's gonna loop. That's awesome for us here. Yeah, but the one weird thing is if you look at that front right foot, it does, well, I guess the other front foot moves kind of weird though too, right? It just looks odd. Like when you've seen elephants walk before, it doesn't look perfect. And when I was watching this clip, I was like, that's kind of another reason why I'm thinking that this is an older one, but maybe it's Mandela effect. I don't know. I just think I've seen it before, but I haven't, because I've seen just tons and tons of these. What do you guys think about this one? It's pretty cool, man. I want to ride it, you know? I want to jump on top, go for a ride. Yeah, it's pretty bad, man. It's pretty awesome. So yeah, there's a Sora video of the week. Like I said, every week we're going to start off with one of these and keep a lookout. And I always ask if you guys can find some that are cool. You see some ones that you like, put it in the comments, message or like tag me in it on Twitter, any of them, dude, and I'll just put them up. I mean, you can do more than one per week too, guys. We don't have to just stick to one. So we'll put up maybe a top 3. That'd be kind of cool. Cosmic says, I'm still waiting for the AI alien footage. Yeah, dude. I mean, it's coming. I mean, people are working on it for sure. It's going to be there. But yeah, so the Schumer rally, you know, we're going to go over, I think, the stuff on the thumbnail first, so you guys don't feel like you're getting cheated here with the thumbnail. So what did you guys think? The Schumer rally popped off. Let me pull up the Greenstreet clip. Now, Greenstreet, don't kill me over using your clip, man. You should be happy about this. Give me a second. Let me see here. Oh, I'm going to get freaking ads because I'm not on my my ad free. So we'll move this for a second here. It's interesting to see these rallies without a doubt. Would you guys go to one of these rallies? Nick, would you go? Rotary, if this was somewhere near you, would you go to one of these rallies? Let me skip this here. Okay, let's get into this thing here now. You know, I don't usually like play videos right off of YouTube on this account. And my paid premium is on my Ice Cream Shots account. So it's on like my main YouTube channel. So I gotta deal with these stupid ads. But Yeah, here we go. This is a pretty little interesting breakdown. I guess there was around, just to preface the video, there was around 30 people, give or take, that went to this thing. Obviously, Danny Sheehan didn't show up. And yeah, this is pretty interesting stuff. We'll go over this. Now, also, this is going to be a little biased in the sense of they do a good job at making these people look pretty crazy. So, yeah, we'll see what you guys think.
Is entering its ET mode.
UFO believers held a rally outside Senator Chuck Schumer's office in New York City to thank him for his legislative efforts pushing for alien truth.
We come right before the office of Senator Schumer to express our appreciation for his leadership.
In 2023, Senator Schumer submitted proposed legislation about UFOs and aliens to be included in the National Defense Authorization Act. It was 64 pages long and included specific mentions of flying saucers, non-human intelligence, and it provided the government with new eminent domain powers that would allow them to acquire potential alien spacecraft.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I mean, there's no doubt about it. The NDAA was awesome to see what was in there. You know, everybody wanted that thing to go through. I mean, obviously we've talked about before, there were provisions that we weren't happy with. I mean, who wants 25 years, you know, as an out for them to kind of wait to give us all of that? You know, 5 years I think would have been a better deal because it would have let them get their ducks in a row, but it wouldn't have made us kind of waste any more time than we've already wasted on it. But yeah, so I mean, you have this rally. People want to give support here for him for doing that. I don't think that's a bad deal if you want to do that. If you want to go to these, man. I know like the resounding feeling in the community is like a lot of people are kind of just laughing at this right now, and honestly, like it's kind of funny, but it's not. You know, at the same time, I mean, you do want to see more people get involved in this kind of push for disclosure. I mean, if you wanted to call this kind of moment that right now. So do you really want to discourage this stuff? You don't, but I know how it can feel really wacky when you start getting the testimonies, and that's kind of where we're going to be at here next in this video. And I'm going to have to pause as much as I can here, guys, and commentate because, you know, Greenstreet, if he happens somehow to see this, he might nick us, so.
And alien bodies from private citizens. However, Schumer's amendment was mostly gutted and dismissed during the final rounds of the Defense Act's approval.
Ain't that the truth, man? They gutted it. John Stokes, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. Thanks for coming.
I'm here to try to help wake up the world to the truth. I have triangular motherships and UFOs that follow me around.
How long has that been going on?
It's for about 2 decades. I've been having triangular motherships, plural. Even
you see how they cut that? I got to go back a little bit, guys. I mean, I'm sure you noticed this, but for some reason, I feel like some people still don't. But I want to point this out, that editing is so powerful, guys. It's so strong. You can take, and I'm not saying that this guy isn't, you know, a little bit wacky. I'm not even going to say that. But just the subtle little edits that you do that kind of drive that point home to make somebody look really off.
triangular motherships and UFOs that follow me around.
How long has that been going on?
Ooh, that cut. They cut right to him with the wacky kind of looking face. His eyes are red. They're messed up. Do you see what I'm saying? And like I said, they could be all true things about him, but I just want to point out, always pay attention to the editing, guys. Just really take a look at what they're doing, and you can get kind of the persuasion that's being put forward, whether you like it or not.
It's for about 2 decades. I've been having triangular motherships, plural. Even here in New York City, even with light pollution, you can see these spread out all over the sky.
We were in Central Park about 8 years ago doing the CE5, which means we do a meditation trying to make contact. About 9 o'clock at night, it was dark, very few people were in the park, and then the quietest member of our group screams, "Oh my God, turn around and look up." So the 10 of us turn around, and there were 3 bright lights in the sky on the horizon. We could see it.
This UFO rally comes 2 weeks after the Pentagon released a lengthy, detailed report which emphatically states that there is no evidence of aliens.
Yeah, so these guys were upset, no? I mean, they were pissed. I mean, a lot of people were pissed, man. Yeah, it's like I said, I can't fault them, you know, for wanting to go down and voice their opinion. I think that's a really great thing about this country is that people are able to go do stuff like this. And I know it's easy to point and laugh at people with wild stories that are, you know, difficult to believe. God, I'm trying to be as reasonable as I can here with this. It's difficult to believe without hard evidence as possible. You know, full on true believers. Yeah, I mean, wow, Nick, you stole it right from my brain. You know, true believers. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so it's like, and I get the side of people laughing at it, but you know, it's tough, right? It's tough.
The report also states that there's no evidence to support many of the UFO claims that have captured headlines for the last 6 years. Rallygoers say the new report is just another cover-up of the truth.
That's the same thing that they've been saying for the last 75 years. It's part of a strategy to deny.
I mean, do I disagree with him on that? No, I don't disagree with him. I do think that there is a cover up on this topic. That's my opinion. And until I'm shown some hard paperwork here, some hard facts to move me off of that spot, yeah, I mean, I can't disagree with that. So I think sometimes it backfires. I think if you really look at some of these videos where they try to make everybody kind of look crazy, there are some good statements that are put in there. I agree with them. There's a cover up for sure.
Attendees held photos of so-called UFO.
Now listen, am I going to hold a sign that says Lou Elizondo's a hero? That Grusch is a hero? No, dude. I mean, I'm not going to do that. Like I said, I'm way too far in the middle, and I just have my own grievances with people like Elizondo and people like David Grusch. I mean, if these are the guys that are supposed to have at least the keys to the kingdom to get us there, and I don't think that they've done enough to warrant posters and things like that at this point in time. If we got the 23-minute video, guys, where we seen what Elizondo was talking about, and you want to hold up a hero sign from Elizondo and he put it out, go ahead. I do think this is a little far, but nevertheless.
UFO whistleblowers with the word hero.
And I want to acknowledge Lou Elizondo, American hero. He was the first whistleblower out of the Pentagon.
Lou Elizondo, a former intelligence official, claimed he was the director of a secret Pentagon UFO program, but that claim has since been debunked as false.
David Grusch, in congressional testimony.
David Grusch, a former Air Force reservist, claimed the government is in possession of alien spacecraft in alien bodies, but he has yet to produce any evidence of that.
I mean, it's kind of true, but at the same time, I don't know. Grusch he's secondhand, right? I don't know. I guess there's documents and stuff he could probably get out there though.
And the new Pentagon report establishes in detail.
I guess I'll say that, man. I didn't expect Grusch. Did you guys really expect him to like bring out a body? I don't know. I guess I expected him more to maybe get some videos or get some documents out there. I don't know.
That Grusch's proclamations of aliens,
or at least like name some names. Sorry, I gotta pause again. Like name some names, or I don't know. Just take more of a risk. I just wanted him to take more of a risk than he has. You know what I mean?
Are unfounded. Grusch and Elizondo were reportedly two of the UFO activists who helped Senator Schumer draft his UFO legislation.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. They were a part of writing that legislation, man, which is pretty insane in and of itself. Yeah, so I guess that's really what we're looking at. We're looking at the rally for these guys. That they were just really trying to put everything together at the end of last year. Now, it kind of fell on its face, if we want to be honest about it. I don't know if there's really much more here that's that interesting. We'll let this play a little bit longer, but I can't remember if the end is very good.
This is a just and righteous cause. It's an idea whose time has finally come, and we're not going away.
We can't leave Oswaldo
Not in
out.
attendance at the rally was Danny Sheehan, the president of the New Paradigm Institute.
Yeah, where was Danny Sheehan, huh? Where was Danny Sheehan? Why wasn't he at this thing? He put this thing together, right? This was the big rally, the New Paradigm Institute. I know the one guy was there that was just talking. I don't know if he was what was his name? Let's jump back, see if we can grab him again. This is Jim Garrison. He's the director. All right. So we got the director in there, and then we got the head. Let me see. What was his name? So we got director and the president. God, those seem interchangeable almost, right? Now, like I said, I don't think we should poke a whole lot of fun at some of this. However, I can't lie to you. When I was thinking about this last night, I said, what was Danny Sheehan doing prior to this rally? Was he in front of a mirror giving a speech to himself? You know, what was he going to say if he showed up and there was 1,000 people there, 5,000, 10,000 people? I thought of this part in this movie.
These are dark times, there is no denying. Our world has perhaps faced no greater threat than it does today. But I say this to our citizenry. We, ever your servants, will continue to defend your liberty and repel the forces that seek to take it from you. Your ministry remains strong.
I love that, man. That's like one of my favorite speeches from that whole Harry Potter series, man. But that's what I feel like he'd be saying to himself. We remain strong. It's like right after the Arrow report came out and he's trying to put it all together. Yeah, that's what I seen. That's what I seen. We took a risk right there because who knows if the copyright people are going to kill us over 40 seconds of Harry Potter. But we got it from YouTube and then we recorded it ourselves. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, dude. Every time, man. He doesn't have like the long hair just like the guy. But nevertheless, pretty funny. So that was kind of the gist of it, guys. The Schumer rally, it's come and gone and not a whole lot happened. I will make kind of a closing statement on this, is when you look at this process, right? When you look at all these people that have come through here, let me get to a good spot for it here. Wake up, fight back. Okay. So you got like less than 30 people here, right? The UFO community is kind of plagued with like a hero complex right now, where you have a lot of people on the ultra skeptic side that are here saying that we got to protect people. This is this crazy cult. There's so many problems that can be caused from all this. I made a statement a month or so ago where I was just like, you know, there's just no way we'd ever have like a January 6th event with the UFO community. And I think that this is a really good example of that case. We don't have thousands of people that are lining up. It is a very, very small topic. And I think that a lot of these people, this is a very small percentage of that percentage, man. So I don't think we have to worry about having some, you know, UFO conversation turning into some crazy, you know, riot ordeal. We had another good example of this last year where they were out in front of, I think, Mike Turner's office with some signs, and that was another 12 or 13 people. It's just not there. Yeah, so I don't think people should get too freaked out about people kind of, you know, expressing their beliefs and having good conversation. Now, later on down the road, I mean, you always leave the door open for it, but you have to ask yourself, like, what are the real odds of something like that going on? So I just don't really think that it's there. I'm not worried about it at the very least. So that wraps that up for me on the Greenstreet situation on that video. Now, there was a big clip that came out during the week. I'm going to have to scroll down here to find it. God, guys, I was bookmarking like crazy this week. I mean, last night when I was putting everything together, I had to get rid of so many bookmarks, dude, because you never know what's really going to end up blowing up as the topic. So here we go. This is well, hold on a second. Let me back this out. So obviously Skyfire News, shout out to you guys, man. And we got a few other clips that we're going to go over here with Burleson and some stuff that kind of came out from Congress this week, which is always important to be following along with them. So yeah, shout out to Skyfire News. Shout out to Tupa here. He put this out here. Thanks, brother. But DIA remote viewer on David Grusch. And he says, he's not a whistleblower, blah, blah, blah. We'll watch the clip. We'll let him get his own words in on that. We won't steal his words from him. How about that?
What is your opinion on this David Grusch fella?
The one everybody's calling a whistleblower?
Yes. And he's talking about, he just recently went to New York and did some talk at some penthouse for some billionaire, talking about how he saw a craft that looked like it was 40 feet from the outside, and as soon as you go inside the craft, it's as big as a football.
Hey, not cool, David. Not cool, man. We want to hear this stuff too. Don't go to billionaires because they got a little bit of money to maybe toss your way. Come on, we want to hear about it too.
Field. He's saying all kinds of crazy stuff, and there's off-planet beings.
The rise of the con, man. It's like people can say anything. First of all, he's not a whistleblower, okay? And I hate that when people start calling people that are doing what he's doing whistleblowing. What he is a purveyor of hearsay, because, only a few intelligent interviewers and listening to him rant on about, I know that, we have captured alien craft. I know that we have alien bodies. And a few intelligent interviewers have said, have you seen these? Well, no. Then
have you seen them? Well, no. I mainly pause. Rhoda, you see you got chucked out of here. Oh, okay. I'm thinking, I'm reading that in chat and I'm like, what is it? The stream dead? Is it? They already got pissed at us, YouTube, and we're out of here already? I mean, it's been, 20 minutes into the damn game here. Yeah, we'll continue with the clip. Good to hear that you're back.
And how do you know? Well, I have some colleagues who are trusted sources who do have personal knowledge of these things. And if they're telling me that, that's what who are these people? Well, I can't tell you that. Well, there you go. So now all you are is a hearsay peddler.
I mean, it's true. Until we actually get something from him, it is just another story. We're not any closer to actual disclosure with his testimony alone. I don't think anybody can really debate that. But there's a lot of people that are really mad at this guy for doing this. But I'm not. I still think, no matter where you stand with Grusch, but I think especially if you stand on the point to where, 1 second, guys, a stupid phone here. Oh, okay. Yeah, thank you for that. I appreciate it. I think no matter where you stand with Grusch, this is good. You need to put the pressure on him. If you think David Grusch has the answers, you need someone like this to go on a big podcast and turn the screws. I mean, look, it's been what? 295 days? I can't remember where Cambian's count is, but it's a really long time since we've had him come out and talk, and we really don't have anything from him besides the testimony. We have a lot of anti-missiles coming his way from Arrow, kind of knocking everything down. And we talked about last week, we have a potential situation where the emails that are out there show that there was writing from Kirkpatrick saying, hey, come on in and talk. That these whole NDA excuse that's been kind of pushed around a lot lately may or may not be the true fact. And so this is got to come to a head at some point. This is what I'm thinking for the rest of the year. Not to tangent off too much off of this, but it kind of just goes right along with it. I can't help the flow of my thought here. They've got to do something, right? Someone has to come out with something. And Lou's book can't be the answer. That's not the answer, right? I mean, his book isn't gonna progress anything. I mean, I don't really think he's holding anything back monumental that he couldn't talk about already or hasn't already talked about. I'm sure it'll be a synopsis, so he'll go into maybe a little bit more detail about his life. There'll be a lot of filler content throughout the entire book. But how much longer do you guys think Grusch will sit here and just kind of take these arrows coming his way before he steps out? We know the op-ed is real. Burleson has the op-ed. It's there. What are we really waiting for at this point from him?
You're standing up expressing some degree of narcissistic, sociopathic tendency. Some might even say pathological.
That's a big claim, by the way, too. He really come out full guns against Grusch, didn't he?
So you can get your face on a camera. You get this endearing public supporting you in what you're saying, but you have no proof, no evidence, and the fact that somebody
allegedly. Come on, David. Say allegedly. We got to be fair here. We don't know 100%. Look, I'm still leaving him a little room. I'll tell you this, dude. I'll end the suspense for you guys. I'll give Grusch and these dudes till the end of the year. Well, no, I won't say the end of the year, because once November hits, maybe even before November, because of the election, it's gonna get drowned out anyway. So what do we think? Like August, dude? If we don't have something from them by August, come on, man. I want to see everybody kind of start to turn around and start holding their feet to the fire and start asking questions. I don't care how much of a true believer you are. I don't care how much you like these guys. If you're downtown New York at the Schumer rally holding a sign saying he's a hero, dude, get a hold of your heroes. Call them in, put the bat signal up. Let's get something from the other side, you know?
You claim somebody told you something, frankly, just doesn't pass the litmus test for us. And we have to be discerning.
He's right, though. It doesn't anymore. I think in the 60s, 70s, and God, probably even up to the 2000s, I think people were more okay with just taking these stories at face value. But what happened was in 2017, when that New York Times article came out, it just changed everything. It gave everyone like a view that, oh, okay, so we don't have to just take stories anymore. We're actually going to start getting facts now. It changed the burden of proof. It changed, maybe burden's not the right word for it, but it changed the bar. It changed the bar for truth so much. And that's really where kind of the line in the sand, I feel, was drawn, to where people kind of went on the super skeptic side or, the believer side. And that stake got driven in.
About these things. Anybody can stand up today and say anything. And the number of people who will actually turn around and go, I think that's bullshit.
Yeah, that's because the bar for evidence has been moved. It's been moved dramatically. And I'll tell you what, guys, for me, it moved almost overnight. I remember the night that article came out, sitting on the couch on my phone and pulling that article up. And I was like, dude, are they really about to do this? Why now? Right? That was a big moment. I don't care who you were, what you believe, black-pilled, ultra skeptic. I don't care who you are. That was a moment where you went, whoa, what's going on here? It was huge.
Is minimal because everybody else wants to chime in on it, especially if you're part of the UFO community.
Yeah, the UFO community. Yeah. So, I mean, look, you can't be mad at this, guys. I know some people are going to be, but I'll read some of your guys' chat here. The Congress picture with Grusch with Knapp, Corbell on either side gives me an itch, man. Yeah. My question, what does the government really know? What they can know what that they can't let out is will freak out the world. I'm staying home and not leaving the house with God. Yeah. Dude, are you going to get toilet paper, Rotary? Nah, bro. I don't see you as a toilet paper grabber, bro. I don't. Perhaps the whistleblowers of firsthand knowledge actually scares them. It could. Nick saying Grusch time is ticking. His claims are sounding old now. Yeah, they are, dude. I think that's the level-headed. It's a good sign of a person, I think, that's level-headed in this field. Is really just kind of calling it how you see it, right down the line. And sometimes that hurts, man. Because we want things to be. I want Grusch to drop the names of these programs locky. I want Kona Blue to be the place that has all that, and Congress can get a hold of it and disperse all that technology to the public and what's going on. I do. I want that. But look, you're only going to take L's if you can't, call out a W on the other side, dude. You gotta not be biased in your approach. Okay, there's a few things. What do we got? 30 minutes here, boys. This is, like I mentioned, every show. This is about an hour show. I try to keep it right in an hour because it's Sunday and you guys want to get in, get out here, and we'll keep the, we'll trim the fat. You know, we'll try to just get to some interesting news that's going on here.
What is your opinion on?
Oh, good Lord. What is your opinion, Danny? I don't need to hear you again. We just went over that, Danny. Come on. So I wanted to talk and show you guys some of these clips from Burleson. Because there was this big, like, I don't know how to, like a panel where he was getting asked questions from a lot of people. I think this was on Twitter. Was it on Twitter? Or maybe it was a stream on Matt Laszlo's stream. But shout out to Matt Laszlo, man. He's keeping us all informed on what's really going on in Congress, which I hammer away at as much as I can. Please don't lose sight of Congress. It's really important. And this was, I thought, a really good clip. So this is Stephen Greenstreet asking Burleson, what are you doing to make sure you're not being purposely misled by some of these characters like Lou Elizondo, who his claims have been debunked? New York Post reporter Stephen Greenstreet asked Rep. Burleson this question in the Ask-A-Poll it was Discord. Okay, it was Discord. I got a Discord, man. Discord's pretty good. So let's hear his clip. This is pretty important.
Floor is yours.
Hi there, Congressman. This is Steve Greenstreet with the New York Post. Can you hear me?
Hi, how are you? Yep.
What are you doing to make sure that you are not being purposely misled by some of these characters like Lou Elizondo, whose claims have been debunked?
Right. I don't believe anything you can tell me. This is why I was pretty blunt at the beginning of all of this. I'm from Missouri. You're going to have to show me. So I do think it is. What I can say is that it has been validated to me that there is over compartmentalization. It's been validated by the office of both offices of Inspector General that many of Grusch's claims, while they can't verify his claims about aliens, that many of his claims about the processes and the way in which information is not being conveyed to Congress has been validated, and that to me is enough to, as someone that is trying to do the due diligence of representing the taxpayers and taxpayer funds. I think I owe it to the American people to be responsible to follow through.
See, that's huge, man. That's what you want. You want, if these people are going to dig into this topic, that they're just going to go with what he's finding. Go with where they're finding. You don't want these guys taking the trust me, bro. And that's what I like hearing from Burleson. And I'll tell you what, man, props to this guy, because out of all the people in Congress that are making the most noise about this, it is him. And I think that is a massive W, and I think that's why you want to listen to these guys. If you want them in the middle, you want to get the truth, this is your best chance. I'm not saying these guys are going to give you disclosure. That's not what I'm saying here. I'm saying that if out of the three options that we really have for disclosure or any kind of truth coming out here, I still think this is your best option right now. I don't know. We'll go over this clip too. If I remember right, there's some interesting stuff on here. He talks a little bit about Lou.
Because I asked Lou Elizondo directly. I said, because there's quite a few people on the internet that believe that this is all a psyop, and that the intelligence community, the Pentagon, want to continue to float this idea that there are, what if there are UAPs? What if we might be facing an alien threat, and therefore we need to spend more money? We need to build up the military-industrial complex. It does.
It's a good question.
It does. It's a logical. You can see why that might be a motivating factor. So I asked that directly to Lou Elizondo. I said, what do you say to anybody that, to some of the theories that you guys, because Lou, he's an interesting character. He didn't,
he is an interesting character.
In the CIA, he was embedded in military operations, not so much UAPs, and before he was assigned that program. And I'm not sure, what I'm saying is that I can see how how I can see why people would have a skepticism about, whether or not he's legit.
Yeah. So he's just saying, hey, look, I get why people are skeptical of Lou. He's been connected into a lot of these programs. In CIA, there's connection, military. So I get what he's saying. That's not my point. Isn't to like talk really about Lou here. My point mostly was showing you guys these clips is just his demeanor, where he's at. This is where this guy's head is, and I think that's a really great spot to have his head. Be skeptical, get in there and see what you can find. Let me see if there was another one. There might have been one more that I had seen. Yeah, I won't play this because it's too long, and to be honest with you, I don't think it really matters for you to listen to the whole thing. The main kind of gist of this is right here. Once again, shout out to Skyfire for these clips. Appreciate you guys. Congressman, UFO whistleblower joining congressional staff. I don't think that Grusch needs a job. He doesn't need to come back to federal government. He just wanted to help. Rep. Burleson spoke on David Grusch in the Ask Poll. So it sounds like they're not really looking to hire him on. I don't know if that really ends up being the case with him. Just kind of like outside consulting, if that makes sense. That's the way I took that. So if you were wondering, is Grusch going to get really official? It doesn't sound like he is. So I wouldn't expect to see anything with that any kind of time soon. This was interesting right here. He says the wedge of the A-wood is fascinating, 30 feet. Are you talking about this? Are you going past my clips on me here? Let me see. Hold on. You talking about this right here, Rotary? I was going to kind of throw some of this stuff in at the end. The aluminum wedge, object made of aluminum, found 11,000 years old in layers in Romania. The presence of aluminum in such ancient strata is perplexing, as aluminum was not discovered and is used until the 19th century. Yeah, this was just really cool, dude. It's cool to see this kind of stuff pop up. Alien scientist says, excavator dug down and lost a tooth. Certainly looks like an excavator tooth. Would there have been an excavator tooth 11,000 years ago? I think he thinks that it's modern, right? I'm taking that from that. It's cool stuff you see out there like that. Who knows about earlier civilizations? This is kind of why that's kind of why I've just said, don't get too hung up on the word extraterrestrial. Don't get too hung up on, whether or not it's from somewhere in the galaxy or in our galaxy, I guess you could say that, or just in the universe. Crypto-terrestrials, AI, the advancements. We got to keep our mind open on what possibly could be going on here. If Arrow wants to bury that word, I don't know. Let them bury it. Who cares? The truth will out, as the Muggles say. This is actually kind of funny. We'll jump to the. This is we gotta bring a little bit of fun here. We've had some seriousness here. I do find this very funny. This is the UFO version, the UFO community version of Ben Affleck with the cigarette. Oswaldo Franco here, what he says.
You're not from Greenstreet's paper, right?
Greenstreet's paper?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, the first time I get this sigh, bro, this is so funny. Oh, wait, we lost. I gotta get the sigh. He's just like, son of a bitch, dude. Oh, are you entertained? Ask yourself that. That is very, very funny. But dude, come on, Rotary, you pulled me off. You pulled me off the rails here. I was on the rails. I was doing good, and you pulled me off with the aluminum wedge. Okay, back to business, huh? If we weren't talking about something, let's talk about something important. Oh shoot, where am I at now? You guys, man. Yeah, so this is the thing, but I want the damn audio clip of it. Here it is. Okay, here we go. Let's get in here. So Ask a Poll, he asked about David Grusch to the Senate Intel Chair. Mark Warner replies, I'm still gonna laugh. You laugh when you saw the clip, dude. No, it's nothing to be sorry about, bro. I don't care. It's funny, man. It's a real moment, and come on, this is just us sitting around here talking. Look, we don't have 5,000 viewers. We can just act like we're all sitting around my computer at my place, bro, and we're just looking over the stuff. So it's a natural moment, man. It's fun. I mean, this, look, and before we go over this, I will also say that this is the charm. This is the special that you get from having you guys in chat. This is what makes it fun. When people say, you know, the show wouldn't be, you know, the same without you guys, or really appreciate it, like, that's not always BS. Like, if the chat was dead over here, this would be 50 times harder to do. Because I heard somebody else talk about this week in a Twitter space, and they were like, oh, you know, I've tried to do a YouTube show or bring up like a podcast, but it's so weird when you feel like you're just talking to yourself. Like, it's really awkward. It is. It truly is. But when you have you guys here, like Nick and John and Rotary, I mean, you guys are just diehards. You're here every Sunday. It just makes it feel like home. Like it just makes it feel easy. It's easy, dude. It's easy when I know you guys are there and I can talk to you. I don't feel so insane, even though I might be. Even though I might be insane. I don't feel as much. So, yeah, if you throw me off the rail, it's all good. Anyway, so this is why this is important. The chair of the Senate Intelligence Committee, Senator Mark Warner, not exactly a lightweight, guys. Not a lightweight person. Okay? And the interesting part of, I mean, just to describe you how much not a lightweight, the person, the vice underneath him is Marco Rubio. Ever heard of him? You know, these aren't lightweight people. But Matt Laszlo asks Mark Warner about David Grusch. Now, I will preface this. The audio is kind of bad in the sense of it's hard to hear him, but I will do your best. Oh, God, that's really loud. Okay, I'm not going to kill your guys' eardrums like that. Hold on. Let me turn this.
Thoughts on this? I gotta go to a 1250 live. House member is trying to hire David Grusch on his staff.
Okay, you know what? This will help you guys too. You see this down here? Why have I not zoomed in? Somebody yell at me, okay? Some of you guys, somebody keep me on track here. This is what the audio is saying. If this helps you, what are your thoughts on a House member trying to hire whistleblower David Grusch to help with their ongoing UFO investigation? Key Warner. Who? So here you go. This is what you're listening to.
What are your thoughts on this? I gotta go to a 1250 live. House member is trying to hire David Grusch on his staff.
Who?
A House member is trying to hire David Grusch on their staff to help them with their investigation. The UAP, UFO whistleblower. I don't know.
Dude, can you hear him? I got no clue. I don't know. Dude, I hope you guys can hear him. I hope you can hear him. Like, it almost sounds like he's gargling blood as he's responding to this. Dude, it's incredible stuff.
Really quickly, will you attend a joint session?
Oh my God. Well, let me rewind. Oh, okay, well, so I thought I couldn't, but dude, it's just try to listen to him at about, well, we'll start maybe it's prior to this. So let's go back to 7 and see if you can hear the response.
A House member is trying to hire David Grusch on their staff to help them with their investigation. The UAP, UFO whistleblower. I don't know.
Really quickly, will you attend
Dude, he's so befuddled. Like, he has no idea, like, what's going on, man. This guy is not in the loop right now. He says, sounds like a frog. Dude, I'm telling you, it's like Jabba the Hutt, dude. Jabba the Hutt is our intel chair. The reason why this is a big deal is because these guys are like the big movers and shakers, right? They're at the top. I mean, I've been asking, like, where is Rubio lately? We haven't heard like anything from these guys, and they got some power in the Senate Intel Committee. So, you know, hopefully Burleson and them can make enough noise to dude, I'm gonna get the giggles from all this stuff, from the aluminum and everything else. I'm gonna get laughing. So yeah. Now there is a little bit extra that goes along with this, a little bit of explanation from Askapol here. Dude, where is that? Now watch, I won't have that. I might have got rid of it. No, okay, here it is. So this Matt Laszlo explains what he thinks is really going on here. So we'll zoom in on this. What we hear Warner saying, Mark Warner's not denying he's heard of David Grusch. Rather, Grusch and UAPs aren't on his radar. So I think a lot of people missed that. And I mean, I kind of did. I mean, when you take it from the clip, this is why I'm happy that Matt expanded on this, because I took it from he didn't know who he was, right? He's like, who's this guy? And yeah, so I guess we can rest a little bit easier knowing he at least knows who he is. But yeah, interestingly enough, okay, where are we at here? 46 minutes. We got time to go over a couple more things, but we're gonna have to speed through it. Okay. Which is actually good because there isn't like a whole lot of depth in these last few things that I want to go over that we need to, but I do think they're important. They're not useless. So don't think because we're not going super in depth into these next couple of topics that they're useless. They are useful, but we just don't have a ton to expand on because we need more information. So if you guys remember, I made a mention of this on Friday's Alien Addict, and because after we were talking about this clip where we're talking about Kona Blue on Skyfire News. And after that had went on, I remembered this clip from Stephen Greenstreet from a couple years ago talking to Eric Davis. And they were talking, or I guess Davis essentially is hinting at Kona Blue here. It's so crazy. This is why I try my best to not only remember these moments, but, to try to save them somehow to go back, because we have noticed a lot with this Arrow report that you can make these ties and you can find a little bit more evidence even though Arrow's not giving it to you. Now, which is, it's insane. Like, these are kind of the things that they should be pulling out themselves. We shouldn't have to be waiting for me to find the clip. I mean, that's Kirkpatrick's job. We should have more of this stuff. But maybe we'll get it in the report too, the volume 2 of the report. And if I remember right too, before we play the clip, Sean Kirkpatrick did mention that they were trying to break down the structure of Kona Blue, maybe get some documents and start to declassify it and maybe put more information out about it. So once again, we have to wait for volume 2 on that. But this is an interesting clip here. This is Stephen Greenstreet talking to Eric Davis a couple years ago.
They both ended in 2012?
No, ATIP never ended.
ATIP never ended.
Okay, let me restart this clip, guys.
It's still going on today?
Let me turn this up here because I turned it down the volume from before. Let's restart this here.
They both ended in 2012?
No, ATIP never ended.
ATIP never ended?
Nope.
It's still going on today?
Yep.
He's so pleased
Who runs
about
it?
Not by that name.
Oh, they changed the name?
Changed names, changed location, changed leadership. So
What's
it
the
still
new,
goes on.
What's the new name?
I can't tell you that.
It's Kona Blue, Steven. It's Kona Blue.
So the reason you know this is because you are still on the inside.
Oh, I'm a consultant still. Yeah.
I'm
still a consultant.
You are still a consultant for the program formerly known as ATIP.
Correct.
Now, I'll tell you this. I'm going to play this back again for you guys because I think this is really, really interesting too, right here at the end.
This is because you are still on the inside.
Oh, I'm a consultant still. Yeah.
I'm a consultant still.
I'm still a consultant.
Now, I really wish Greenstreet would have asked him, are you a paid consultant? Because that would have changed a lot of opinion probably on Eric Davis. Because if it comes out that there wasn't any money that was really moving around there, you would have known that there was a lot of BS that was going on with that. But what this tells me, and the last part I replayed for you guys, him saying he's a consultant, I think this is a really good indication that Eric Davis spoke to Arrow. I would have to assume. We've been wondering, who spoke to Arrow. I could be wrong. He might not have, but I don't know. This to me, it makes me think of that. This is kind of how they're getting this information. Someone like Eric Davis could have went in there and said, "Hey, man, it's Kona Blue." Could have finally told what was going on with it, and that could have led Kirkpatrick or led Arrow, whoever was taking a look at that at the time, down the way to find out what was going on, find a little bit more on it. I don't know. I always say, guys, never forget about this old stuff, man, the best you can. It's hard. Everybody's got lies. I do too, man, but I do my damnedest to not, not leave this stuff behind. Because I want to know, dude. I want to know. I want to know what's going on. I don't want to take this trust me bro stuff anymore. And I'm going to go back and try to, tie up a couple loose ends on my own if I can. Hey, what's up, Tim? How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Tim, I can't lie to you. Don't change your picture, but dude, it's scary. Imagine, you guys, look at his avatar picture. Imagine waking up in the middle of the night, turning over and looking to the corner of your room, and that face is right there. Jesus, dude. Okay. Now, this was interesting. Right here. Okay, we got a couple more things we're going to go over here. So the Aero office has released this. Collaboration with the academia and the scientific community, including peer review, is critical to our success. Last year, then, Aero director Kirkpatrick co-authored with Utah analysis of UAP sightings, published in the journal Scientific Reports. Nature.com, here's who this is brought by. Oh, wait a second. No. We got a better version of this. We got the good one, guys. We got the better version to look at this with, huh? Let's figure this out. Now, this was kind of being toted around as, oh, here's the science everybody's looking for. Here's the proof. Here's the paperwork. Which as we'll see here, there is a little bit of truth in that. But I can tell you right now, the volume 2 of the Aero report better do better than this, though. This can't be the example. So what this report is kind of going over in short, because as you can see, this thing is like, 8 pages? And I don't think you have to. You can go through it all. What I'll do is after this is I'll put a link to this in the description. That way, if you guys want to read over this, you can. But the gist of it all is they took a look at all the public sightings, UAP sightings, and sky view potential. Okay, so they kind of came together and said, okay, where are we seeing the sightings hotspots? And why do we think that these are the hot spots? Okay. So they go down here, history of UAP, sightings, research, explanations. But the really thing that I thought stood out here with this is we're getting bar graphs or we're getting timelines here. We're getting, pictures here. These are good. This is good stuff. We're getting some formulas. I don't know what the hell that formula means, but it's there, So that's interesting. We got a little spreadsheet, Excel spreadsheet. Who's been asking for this stuff, guys? I've been asking for this stuff. Where is this, The mean canopy, the mean cloud cover, kind of meaning like the average where they're seeing it. We even get like a heat map. You got to be happy with a heat map, right? You got to get a little something. Anyway, this is the reason why this I thought was important was because, we are getting some... a little bit more than just trust me, bro, from them. No matter how much crap I want to give Aero and how much crap I'll give Kirkpatrick, it is nice to have this. However, why are we getting this kind of stuff first, not even from Aero directly? Why are we getting the most science document paperwork from nature.com and not Aero? A little disappointing. But essentially, let me see if I can find the spot where they kind of go over the part that I found that was most interesting. Let me see. So they kind of go over like light pollution, cloud cover. These were the variables they looked at: tree canopy, airports, military installations. So when you kind of go back and look at the heat map, you'll see that, out here, a lot of population. It's open area, open air up here. Same thing. They're essentially saying that the sky is open. That's why you can see it. There's no coverage on top of there being people. So like when you look at areas that have a lot of people and a lot of open sky, there's sightings. Duh. Duh. But seems kind of like a duh kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, at least they got something there. I'm still trying to look for the quotes that I really wanted to read to you guys. I'm probably going to lose it. Good Lord. I was going to highlight this, man, and I probably should have. Okay, I can't find it. You're going to have to burn me at the stake for losing the content here on this. It just essentially told you like how I mean, I kind of went over it anyway, but it kind of shows you what they were doing, how they came to their conclusions. But I will say this, it just doesn't seem like it's a big wow moment, Like they're essentially saying, yeah, sightings are real. There's sightings all over the place. I think Arrow was saying that they were recording like 100 a month or something like that were coming in recently. So yeah, they're out there. I mean, what they are, whose they are, I still don't think we have any solid truth on that, but credit where it's due. At least we're getting something like this. I really do hope that Volume 2 looks like similar to this, but we get more. I want documents. There's got to be some unclassified documents that Arrow can put out that shows, you know, especially with the Kona Blue stuff. Hey, here's some records from who was running the program. I mean, whether it was funded or not, but like there should be some paper trail. Like it seems like you would leave one, right? So yeah, I'll put a link into this, nature.com. Pretty interesting stuff, nevertheless. The D. Dean Johnson put out a UAP new reporting rules. We kind of talked about that at the beginning. We want to go over that. Oh my God, guys, there's so much I really want to go over, but there's only so much time right here. Look at this guy right here. He's posing with these mummies. These mummies they're taking them real serious, guys. I'll tell you that. Guy, he's got no mask on. There's dust everywhere. You got wedges holding these mummies up. Jeez Louise. So breaking news from D. Dean Johnson. You guys can follow him on Twitter. He's got a lot of really interesting stuff to stay on the topic. He's on point too. On May 19, 2023, the Joint Staff Operations J-36 Homeland Defense Division of the Joint Chiefs of Staff disseminated to all unified military commands worldwide a set of uniform procedures to be followed for gathering data and reporting on contemporary military encounters with UAP, using a detailed standard reporting template. I have now obtained a copy of the Pentagon message. I believe that its detailed and contents that its detailed contents are being made public here for the first time. And let me get down to the meat of it for you guys. Okay, so reports on UAP. This is what I think is most important on this, guys. We're pulling out the bullet points here, okay? Reports on UAP incidents are to be transmitted upwards within 96 hours. So any UAP incident, okay, up to 96 hours. But any UAP engagement reports within 12 hours. A UAP engagement is a kinetic or non-kinetic response to UAP intended to deny, disrupt, or destroy the phenomena and or its objects. The ultimate nexus of collection and analysis of these reports is the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, ARROW. Incredible. Okay? Incredible stuff. So these are the new report. This is the new reporting style that they're going for. So when I talk about ARROW being a Blue Book 2.0, a lot of people have said that, and I think that's a pretty good conclusion that you could come to with it for sure. What I find interesting, though, is I think that the government, especially the Pentagon, the DoD, right? I think they were upset that they ever ended Blue Book. And because if you remember, when Blue Book ended, that kind of gave free reign for a lot of speculation on the UFOs to happen again, and it kind of just opened the door for that, right? And we haven't heard too much pushback. I mean, there was obviously the Roswell report or Case Closed in the 90s where they tried to kind of, say, hey, it's Project Mogul and that. But that was like the most pushback you would see that I can recall. But what you see them doing now is ARROW is not going anywhere. Read this again. The ultimate nexus of collection and analysis of these reports is the all-domain. It's ARROW. The ultimate nexus. Does that sound like they're closing that anytime soon? Do you think the ultimate nexus of all of the information and the control of that information is going anywhere anytime soon? No, it's not. And I'm trying to find where in this area it talks about how the DoD, here, I think right here, ARROW will coordinate with the handling of any UAP objects and materials of incidents, intrusions, and engagements, but recovery and transfer of identifiable, non-anomalous items of foreign origin. That's a pretty open blanket statement, foreign origin there. Continue to be managed by the DoD, Foreign Material Program. So they're saying, hey, look, all these reports going to ARROW, Pentagon. All the material that's happening, it's going to be ours too. This is how they take back the narrative. You want to know how they can put the toothpaste back in the tube and change the story? Right here. Look at what they're doing. They want it all, baby. They want it all. I want it all. I want it now. I mean, that's what we're looking at. So it's important to know that these are the new parameters, because that's what Kirkpatrick was kind of hinting at last week. And he said, we've got some new reporting parameters that we're putting into place. And, the old stuff, we're kind of letting that go of the wayside. There's not enough data. It's overwritten. Don't worry about that. The new data that we're in control of with our Nexus, that's going to tell the story. Man, oh man. The conspiracies write themselves, boys. They write themselves. Let me jump back here. Interesting. So that's the gist of this document right here that came out. You're got a little bit of update on what's going on still, further in that arena. Now, I did want to show a little bit of a clip here. I know we're getting a little bit close on time here. I want to show a little bit of a clip here. Now, this is only going to be about 10 seconds long that I'm going to play of it. Just want to keep you guys informed on like the new nomenclature. There's a lot of new words, buzzwords that are going to come around. We went from UFO to UAP, for instance, or extraterrestrial to NHI. Okay, this is kind of interesting here. This is Tim Gallaudet. Listen to how he says NHI here.
Well, I'm totally convinced that we're experiencing a non-human higher intelligence.
What was that, Tim? One more time for me, Tim.
Well, I'm totally convinced that we're experiencing a non-human higher intelligence.
Non-human higher intelligence. So we got to get another H in there. We got to extend that wording again to higher intelligence. So don't be surprised if you guys start to see this shift in the NHI term being NHHI, okay? Because we want to be less specific about something that's already general, Let's be more general about the generalities. Dude, so no offense to Tim, man. I just think it's interesting how we keep pushing this stuff forward. I agree with Rotary. I'm telling you, bro. I'm trying to bring you guys this stuff, man, so that you can really, really be as informed on these nuanced things as possible. All right, where we at here? We got just a couple more here. This I thought was interesting. This is obviously James Fox, for anybody who isn't aware here. This has kind of been the trend here.
However, what I'm doing and what many others are doing, we're meeting with the intel folks on the inside that have already gone to testify to ARROW, which is run by Sean Kirkpatrick. That's the new UAP task force. And they're going on camera with people like myself. And I've gotten a number of them on camera already.
Really?
And they're disclosing.
How much? How much to see that, James?
Not the classified parts, but what they've disclosed basically behind closed doors. In other words, I'm providing the names of the programs. I'm providing the names of the individuals involved with the programs.
Okay, cool. Where is it? This was a year ago, guys, by the way, just for reference. This was 1 year ago, James Fox. So I'm sure it'll be in his documentary. I'm sure he's gonna give you all that information for 1995. So, God Almighty, come on. Okay, last thing here. I did want to make this last. I screwed up. I should have done this during the Kona Blue editions that I was adding. But this is actually pretty interesting. If you guys don't know who this is Bob Jacobs. All right, Bob Jacobs. If you remember, he's the guy who told the story that he's seen the warhead go in the air, and then the UFO would deep put the laser beams on it, and the warhead fell out of the sky. It was an older story. You guys remember that? Okay. The reason why this is interesting that Bob Jacobs is back around it again is because here he is again, Bob Jacobs. Man, doesn't seem like he's aged very much, huh? Look at that. Look at Bob right there. I mean, he's obviously got a little more white hair, but he don't look bad. Bob's hanging in there, huh? Listen to what he has to say about Lou Elizondo and David Grusch. This is also very interesting, and we can kind of get a little bit more of a glimpse into what maybe happened with Kona Blue. We have to look from the outside to find out.
And recently, Lou Elizondo, whom a lot of people might know, Lou Elizondo says he saw it, the very same thing that I described when
And he's describing the video. I should preface that. That's my fault. He's talking about the video of that warhead that he said he's seen that got neutralized by the UFO. So we restart. There's your context.
And recently, Lou Elizondo, whom a lot of people might know, Lou Elizondo says he saw it. The very same thing that I described when he was in charge of ATIP in D.C. So it still exists. No one can find it now because Lou reported this to Dave Grusch, who said he went to look for it where Lou said it was, and it was now gone.
Ah, very interesting. So the video that he's talking about, saying it exists, told Elizondo, hey, or Elizondo told Grusch, hey, there's where it's at. Where do you think he told him to go look? Could it have been Kona Blue? I don't know. I don't know. It's a very interesting tie-in, though. And where is Bob coming from with this? I don't know. I haven't seen this whole interview. It's kind of hard to get the context of exactly why he's bringing this up, how he's connected to Lou at all. I mean, he's a famous guy. I mean, they might have just spoke, and it's a famous story, but I don't know. Maybe you guys know about something that's different that's going on, but it's pretty interesting that Grusch went to look for it, didn't find it. All right. Well, I think that's all that I have. The drone swarms that are going on at Eglin Air Force Base. You know, you guys want to go over this for a second? Do you want it? You guys mind going like another, I don't know, 3-4 minutes? Let me jump over this. You tell me, because we're right here in an hour 8. I'll give you guys a little extra here if you want. Because there's not like a lot to say about this, but we can at least mention it. Do. You guys want to see it?
No.
Oh my God. Oh man, you got to get that McGregor clip in there. That's what I was waiting for you guys to say. No. All right. So I promise this is the last thing. Okay. And you guys get back to your Sunday. I gotta get out of here too at some point. I gotta go meet my mom for some food and stuff like that. So, okay. Let's do a little bit of a look at this. There is a clip here that's been going around, and this one was kind of a mind melt for me. And I legitimately am interested into what you guys think. Okay? Because what this is all about is it's kind of taking shots at not only the intelligence, but the capabilities of our military. And before we play the clip, I at least want to give you my thoughts on that, dude. I have huge respect for the power of our military. These guys, they're very, very advanced. I have a hard time believing that, 10 or 15 Walmart drones is all that it would take to take out the most advanced military that the world's probably ever seen. Now, does that mean that that's not possible? Does it mean you couldn't kind of Trojan horse, through the gates and get something through? No, but I would just say that I give them more credit on first examination, I guess is a good way to put it. And I'll shut up now, and you guys can hear the clip.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thanks to our witnesses for your great service. General Guillot, I want to begin with you. My colleagues and I on this committee have recently discussed installation security with respect to drone threats at bases in the United States, recognizing that we're in an unclassified setting. What can you tell me about how Northcom is addressing this issue, and with what partners are you working this challenge?
Senator, Northcom, as part of my 90-day assessment, to tell the truth, the counter-UAS mission has dominated that so far in the first month. Of course, I knew it was an issue coming from another combatant command where we faced that threat in a very different way because of the environment, but I wasn't prepared for the number of incursions that I see.
So what he's saying here is he's saying, look, there's a lot of these drone swarm incursions that are coming in, but he's also saying that we've seen this before, and he's saying not to the degree, not the amount of these swarms that we've seen, but we've seen them before, and we've handled them. We've handled them. I mean, that's essentially what he's saying. Listen to what he's saying here.
Assessment is, to tell the truth, the counter UAS mission has dominated that.
It's dominated, okay? The counter UAS has dominated. And this is why I say, like, it's so hard. And I know this is a big theory, and I know Lou Reviews has a really big, like, this is kind of where he's standing on the issue at this point, which he could be right. I don't know. I'm not going to tell him he's wrong, but it is a big theory that, you know, all of this was to just drive up awareness of like a failure that we have in our military to identify these drone swarms, and there's this huge potential for disaster and attacks and terrorist attacks and what have you, and so on and so forth. What hangs me up on that, and there's not really too much left of the clip that really goes through with this, but I'll give you my thoughts on it right now. I have such a hard time believing that if you think that our military is creating something like a Tic Tac, okay? If you think that we have a cyber system that's out there, we know we have that system like that watches the planet constantly, that's all over the place, you know, it's recording and monitoring. Dude, I just don't see how we haven't already accounted for this. If you want to, and here's the real reason why I say that too, is because if you want to attribute a lot of these sightings, and you want to say it's not extraterrestrial, there's nothing weird going on, this is just our technology completely, it's drones, it's stuff that we've worked on, we didn't have to reverse engineer it, man, we're just advanced, right? How could you think that we could develop advanced technology that way, but also be so horrible, just completely helpless against it? I don't buy that. And a big reason why I don't buy that anymore is because I think that when they made the nuclear bombs in Manhattan and they used them, and we didn't have a defense against that at that time, not that I'm aware of. I think that my guess is that they said that was a bad idea. That was probably not a very good idea. Because, you know, Russia started making them, you know, and there's so much potential for that backlash on a devastating weapons platform like that. So if we have Tic Tacs, I mean, if you think what we're seeing is our technology, do you really think that the guy who's in the room that's making that stuff doesn't have someone down the hall from him figuring out how to fight against it? Are we really that bad at what we do? If we are, I guess I'm wrong, but I cannot give that, you know, that can't be my first thought on it. I can't just give in to that logic without seeing something from it. And you know, that's why I when he says that, we've dealt with them in the past.
Assessment is, to tell the truth, the counter UAS mission has dominated.
Dominated. Now look at the way he says that. Does he seem scared? Number one, it's weird that they're even talking about this stuff in public, and that's another reason why I think it's not that big of a deal. Because why would they do that? If this was a major chink in our armor, why would you just say this like this? And of course, the guy mentions at the beginning, and there's classified talks about this, so there's more that goes on behind the scenes. But this guy seems freaking certain to me.
Day assessment is, to tell the truth, the counter UAS mission has dominated that so far in the first month. Of course, I knew it was an issue coming from another combatant command where we faced that threat in a very different way because of the environment, but I wasn't prepared for the number of incursions that I see.
He wasn't prepared, but that doesn't mean that they can't handle it. Okay, let me give you a really like a really simple example. Okay, this is what I thought about when I thought about him saying, you know, I wasn't prepared. Okay, it's kind of like if you guys ever played Halo back in the day. Okay, and you know the enemies in Halo, the little grunt enemies. If you got a rocket launcher on you, okay, and you're playing Halo and you got 2 or 3 of those grunts, you turn the corner, they're standing there. That rocket is no problem. You're gonna handle it. You're gonna dominate them, right? But if you turn that corner and there was 7 or 8, does that really make a difference? No, it didn't make a difference. If you were blowing up 2 or 3, you were blowing up 7 or 8. Yeah, you didn't expect that, but it doesn't change the fact that you still have what's required to dominate that. So I get that people can watch this clip and go, well, we just seem like we have our pants down on this, but that's just not my take, man. That's not my take.
Gone into the events at Joint Base Langley Eustis, and I'm using that as the centerpiece of my 90-day assessment to see where NORAD and NORTHCOM can and should do more as this merging capability outstrips the operational framework that we have to address it.
And he says like outstrips the operational framework we have to address it. It's when you say outstripped, man, it does sound heavy. It's a really heavy way to say that. It does make it sound like we're overwhelmed, or our technology, our infrastructure is just not caught up. But am I the only one that just finds that weird to act so helpless, but we then say how strong they are on the other hand? It's just talking out of both sides of the mouth, man. I don't know. I just don't buy it, dude. I think that we're very advanced. I think we're very capable. And I don't think that the U.S. is going to be brought down by, some drones that turn themselves into a dragon that floats. Come on, I don't know, man. Maybe I could be completely off base, but from what I've seen, not really, man. And this is another thing about this. I'll end on this point. I was in a space last night, and I got very, very fortunate to talk to Chris Bartell. And I don't know really anything about Chris. I think I've heard his name before. He had like some Skinwalker Ranch connection stuff, but from what I was learning, and there could be somebody that goes, "Oh, dude, hey, that Skinwalker Ranch or that Chris Bartell, he's a nut job or something." And I don't know. Maybe there's proof of that. I have no clue. That's not what I'm saying here. But he's been said to have worked for the DOE, Area 51, and what he was kind of saying is that he's seen really, really advanced tech. He was saying he hasn't seen anything that he thought was alien or extraterrestrial, but there's extremely advanced tech that he can't talk about, and things that really kind of blew his mind when he was out there and working in those areas. If we're to believe that, just to hammer the point home, I don't see how that would be an issue. I guess I should have probably asked him about this last night, but I was on the couch and I was playing Zelda, and I was in this listening to this space, and so I guess my whole head wasn't in the game on it. But I asked him like the Tic Tac. I said, hey, where he was saying 98% of the technology that we see is ours, of these kind of this phenomena that we're seeing. This like a Tic Tac, for instance, 2% is like unknown technology. And I asked him, is it the Tic Tac, is it 98% or is it 2%? Where does it fall? And he's like 98%, which I agree. I think that stuff's ours. But I think that's going to wrap it up, guys. And look, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I'm the greatest guy to assess this kind of stuff. Look, these are my opinions, man. This is what I'm taking from it. I'm one of the few 33-year-olds in this world that'll tell you that I don't know it all, and I don't claim to. And but I will give you my thoughts and opinions, and if you can take something from it, great. If you think it's insane, well, think it's insane. I guess that's how you take it. But every Sunday, I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to keep coming in and showing you guys what I think is important from the week, trying to keep you updated as best that I can. And I do want to make this plug before we go. Alien Addict tonight, I guess maybe not tonight, but in just a couple of hours, I'm going to put the link in the chat. Chupacabra from Skyfire News. And if you've seen them around on X a lot, these guys have been very, very cool. They've been very nice. Alien Addict is going to interview Chupacabra on their channel at 5 p.m. today, EST. So that'll be cool. I don't know if I'll be able to catch it live because I don't think I'll be home, but I for sure will be watching it back later on down the line. And I'd like to have Tupa and Red come on and talk to them about the topic and get their opinions on what's been going on. They're obviously very smart. They're very knowledgeable about the whole situation, and they're good talkers. So I think that it would make it entertaining for you guys. And I'll drop one last piece of breaking news here. I'm just getting to the point where I'm finishing up the Beyond Reasonable Doubt book. That's all about Pascagoula. Philip Mantle wrote that book, and it goes over like the witnesses that were a part of that event. Next week, I'm gonna slide Philip Mantle a message on Twitter. Fortunately, he He follows us on Twitter, which was actually kind of cool. I'd like to have him come on at some point and talk to us about that book and talk Pascagoula, because that's my favorite abduction case by far. And I think it's the most like evidence-backed one. It's in the book is really interesting. I'm learning a lot as I'm going through it. So we'll try to get Philip Mantle on here. Thank you to Rotary for pointing me in that direction to that book. But thank you, Nick, for coming, dude. I really appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoyed this show today. There was a lot to go. It's hard to pick everything. It's hard to go through it all. John, have a great rest of your Sunday. Tim, let me go through here, make sure everybody's it's in chat. Yeah, absolutely. So we'll catch you guys on the next one. All right, next Sunday. Go to Alien Attic tonight, 5 o'clock, guys, Eastern. We'll see you later. Thanks again.